Hi, I'm Mr. eTutor here again, your mystery tutor at mysterytutor.com, and welcome to video module 5-12. In this module, I'll discuss the best strategic way to approach the sentence completion part of the SAT. We have discussed at length in many of these modules why memorizing vocabulary is not the smartest way to approach the SAT sentence completion question. Sure, it gives you a false feeling that you're working hard and getting something accomplished, but what you're accomplishing will have very little bearing on your SAT score. So remember, when you practice for the sentence completion questions, the key thing to do is take note of the way the questions themselves are constructed. Look at the clues that we've discussed in the sentences themselves, and look at the clues that can be found in unknown words. Remember, too, that it's very important that you not miss questions when you know all the words in the question. Finally, it's extremely important that you only practice with sentence completion questions actually constructed by the real College Board and found in this book. If you try to practice these techniques with sentence completion questions created by other companies, they will not work because other companies don't know how to write sentence completion questions the way the College Board does. So, even if you become good at memorizing another company's vocabulary list and then using that vocabulary to answer the company's fake sentence completion questions, when you go take the real SAT, none of that will matter because the questions will be very different. Remember, on the sentence completion questions, as with every other question on the SAT, the important thing is to understand the standards that decide how the questions are created. You need to work very hard to understand each sentence completion question as one coherent unit, and not as a group of disconnected words for you to know the meanings of. Now, as we've said before, most untrained test takers are going to try to get ready for these questions by memorizing every single word in the English language. When this fails, and they come across words on test day that they've never seen before, they're going to fall back on a sort of backup plan and try to work out any sort of meaning that they possibly can from words they don't know. Well, what I recommend you do is completely forego the vocabulary memorization, except, of course, for that proprietary list of roots and suffixes that you can get by putting your email in that box right there to the right of your screen. And instead of trying to memorize thousands of words, I recommend that you spend only a little bit of time trying to apply these strategies and take apart real SAT questions written by the College Board. In other words, I suggest that instead of having the vocabulary strategy and the backup strategy, you get rid of the vocabulary and turn the backup strategy into a real strategy on its own. You can do this with just a little bit of practice with real SAT questions. So, thanks very much for watching this module. Remember, study intelligently, not just diligently, and you'll find it's easier than you think.